I'm going to show you how to make this protein-packed teddy bear snack with using 1 cup of roasted oats. You want to put this to medium high heat and cook it for 5 to 10 minutes. You want to be watchful because we're not going to look for a complete browning, more of a tanning because these will burn quickly. Then you want to put this in a blender and blend it for 5 minutes. You want to look for a powdered form. It's okay if all the oats are not blended. Then we're going to need 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, a half a tablespoon of nutmeg, and then 2 tablespoons of the sugar of your choice. When it comes to making sure this is tree nut free, you want to look at the label of the spices to make sure it's not manufactured in a place with tree nuts. When it comes to nutmeg specifically, I wanted to make a correction from my last video. Nutmeg is derived from a seed, so it's not considered a tree nut, but you do want to do your own research because there are some countries that still classify nutmeg as a tree nut. So I did link a research article below if you want to be aware and do some research on that. Now, when it comes to the sugar, the reason why I added water to the mixture was because I wanted to create a simple syrup that would blend better with the butter. Now, if you don't want to do this, that's fine. You can do agave or honey, but you want to set this aside and do 1 cup of sunflower butter and add in our spices. Another additional spice that I did include in this video is clove. I recommend 1/4 of a teaspoon, and if you don't have it, that is fine. Now we're going to add in our sugar mixture and give this a taste test so that way it's to your level of sweetness. And then we're going to make sure we're going to add in our oat flour. We're going to do small increments at a time because we want to make sure that this forms into a ball but doesn't get too stiff or too hard that's hard to roll out. Now you're going to take 1/3 of your ball and use it for our darker features for our teddy bear. So I recommend doing up to 3 tablespoons of nutmeg. If you don't want to use nutmeg or if it's too spicy, you can add cocoa powder. Cocoa powder was a great alternative and really helped darken this. So I recommend 1 to 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder, and always just compare to your original butterball to make sure it's as dark as it needs to be. And then when it comes to the lighter complexion, I just used the leftover sunflower butter that was inside the original container and then added at least a half a cup of oat flour to 2 to 4 tablespoons of sunflower butter and roll that into a ball and save that to the side. Now it's time to form the teddy bear. I took a piece from the original butterball and rolled it up and smushed it into the palm to form the base of the face. Then I did smaller pieces to form the ears and then took pieces from the lighter sunflower butter, and then I decided to add darker features using the smaller dough that I showed you before to create the eyes, nose, and also a little bit of the mouth. You can see I was curling it to form the mouth shape, and I did a U because it was a little bit easier, made smaller dough eyes and a nose. For the full body teddy bear, I decided to start with the original butterball and use that for the head, the body, the ears, the hands, and the legs. And then I used the darker pieces for the eyes here. And then I decided to use the lighter pieces for the mouth area, the ear area as well. And then I also used the darker pieces to create the same U-shaped mouth, and then also the little darker nose. And then I used a lighter piece for the stomach and decided to add another darker piece in the center because I felt like it added more dimensions, and we have to finish it off with little feet. One important thing to keep in mind, because of the nature of this being made of butter, you can't really have this stand on its own. I recommend having a piece of bread behind it so that way